China has unveiled the latest pictures of the country's new domestically manufactured aircraft carrier, Fujian. And this comes just few weeks before elections in Taiwan. To talk more on this, we are now being joined by Collins Chin Yu Keat from Kuala Lumpur. Mr. Keat is an expert in China affairs. Thanks very much for taking our time and joining us in WION, Mr. Keat.
Thank you, Risha.
Now, Mr. Keat, the latest aircraft carrier is larger and technologically more advanced than the previous Chinese warships and comes just weeks before elections in Taiwan. How do you assess all of this?
Yeah, we have seen how the Fujian aircraft carrier is the most modern in the the whole inventory of the naval asset of China. Of course, surpassing previous carriers, Shandong and Liaoning, in a lot of ways, and comparable to U.S. Gerald Ford. But we have also seen how the marked difference between both carriers in terms of capacities and proven capabilities. Of course, Gerald Ford carrier is nuclear powered, and Fujian carrier is conventionally powered. In terms of size, we can see that it's almost similar in nature. But of course, in terms of the historical proven record of proven warfare capacity, the U.S. is at least 100 years ahead of China in terms of proven capacity, in terms of lethality, in terms of operational capacity of naval assets, in terms of operating an aircraft carrier. So in terms of it's yet to be proven, and of course it was established in 2022, and now we have seen the images coming up. Of course, also in anticipation of the upcoming Taiwan's presidential elections. And this is being done, of course, partly to have this greater leverage on the outcome of the elections, which will have a profound impact.
Right, Mr. Keat, if you can just draw major comparisons.
So the implications by the Biden administration.
Right, Mr. Keat. I was just coming to that point you made there about the USS Gerald. If you can just draw major comparisons between the Fujian warship and USS Gerald.
Now you can see in terms of size, it's relatively similar in terms of the the total size, and of course in terms of the crew membership of each carrier is almost the same with more or less around 4,000 crews. But as I've mentioned, the profound difference will be in terms of the power capacity for both carriers, and we have seen how Fujian has also improved in terms of having this Katoba system. And that but one of the differences will be in the case of the type of aircraft being used, and for now, it has been projected that this Fujian aircraft carrier will likely consist of the Shenyang J-15 fighters, which of course they might represent to a newer role in the future. And also we have plans. We have there might be plans by Beijing also to have this fourth and fifth carriers that will be nuclear powered. But as of now, in terms of the historical track record of operating capacity and the success rate of the carriers being operated by the US as compared to the Chinese-based carriers, we have seen a marked difference in terms of proven lethality and success rates, and also in terms of the type of fighters being used, as well as most importantly the capacity of nuclear powered carrier as compared to Fujian carrier.
Right, Mr. Keat. Also, this the warship Fujian, the images of the warship Fujian, which has been released, this comes at a time when the Chinese President Xi Jinping has called for improvements to the Chinese military's combat readiness and technological capabilities, completed ahead of the 100th anniversary of founding PLA in 2027.
Right. So as you can see, of course, there have been this consistent and also renewed calls by Xi Jinping that the whole the PLA capacity have to be resilient, have to be ready by 27, and of course in conjunction with the 100th anniversary. But also, of course, Taiwan is in the main agenda, where there have been talks. Of course, there have been assessments by the U.S. top military experts that 27 is the timeline, because they will need at least a few years after that to ensure that there's this stability before the 2049 greater agenda. So in terms of what Xi Jinping has said in the New Year address, that Taiwan will be part of China, regardless of the matters, regardless of different options on the table. And we have also seen how the great realization by Beijing that for as much as they wanted to ensure that Taiwan still remains on its side, and as much as past historical record has been proven that they have been trying to intervene, have been trying to influence in terms of this presidential election in Taiwan. but no, the results have been backfiring, and that the Taiwanese population have been well aware of these consistent efforts to influence and to intervene in elections, and you can see the results now that DPP has won for the past, for the past few years, and that the more Beijing exerts pressure on the Taiwanese, on Taiwan's population, the results will be even more backfiring for Beijing. So now that we have seen now clearly in this case for this year, a reduction of tensions or risks being taken by Beijing, knowing that doing that will also implicate responses from the Taiwan's electorate and the Taiwan's population, and William Lai has been heavily projected to win the election, and that there's nothing that Beijing can do for now, and less inviting greater backfiring responses by the electorate in Taiwan.
Right, but last question to you, Mr. Keat. The launch of Fujian also comes as tensions are ratcheting up in the Indo-Pacific region.
Right, sure. We have seen also how the Middle East tension has also contributed largely to this cause, and we have seen also how of course, a lot of overtures have been made by U.S. officials, since last year. We have high-level visits by, Raimondo, by Blinken, by Janet Yellen, and we have also seen how this, the overtures being seen by Xi Jinping himself when he visited San Francisco during the APEC summit. Of course, the economic agenda is high on the table, but we have seen also the resumption of military communications between both countries, and this is where, of course, also with the recent reshuffling of the defense minister post, these are all being done in a calculated manner, where Xi Jinping has always wanted to maintain the leverage and also the momentum going forward, not to be seen as too weak internally, and using all this, of course, the Taiwan's presidential elections, as well as what's happening in Gaza now, as a pretext to ensure that, as much as they wanted to ensure that the economic agenda to revive this declining economic momentum and prospect in China in terms of demographic challenges and crisis and debt crisis, these are also being on the table to ensure that you can still maintain the kind of domestic support and nationalist sentiments on the ground domestically to bolster and to cement the grip of Xi Jinping both at the military front as well as the public front for China.
Right, Mr. Keat. Thanks very much for taking our time and joining us here on WION and sharing your insights.
Thank you, Risha. Thank you. Pleasure. Thank you.